Who? Cat?
Yeah.
Girl, first of all, she gonna watch this, so she gonna be talking about me. She in Facebook jail.
What she do?
Girl, ain't no telling, baby. She talking so much cash money, baby. They finally got her. They got her. You understand what I'm saying? She do be telling the truth a lot of times. 90% of the time. But when she talking cash money, she don't realize she talking cash money, baby. Mark got that this time.
Yeah.
We love you, Dolores. Okay, we're going to start off with a quick prayer. If you don't mind, we can fist bump that thing. Heavenly Father, thank you for this amazing day. Thank you for this episode. Father God, I pray that you bless us with the right words to say. I pray that you bless a miracle on her journey. Father God, whatever she's seeking you for, I ask that you release it to her. In the name of Jesus, I pray most importantly, God, that you bless someone to be blessed by this episode. We love you so much, Lord. We thank you for it all. All that we have not asked, would you please allow the Holy Spirit to intercede on our behalf? This prayer and every prayer we ask in your darling son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, let's toast. Welcome to the Spill Podcast Day. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a quick rundown. Hey, Spillers, them the YouTubers, so you can say hi.
Hi.
I already told you. So this Tuesday coming up, Andre's episode, and then your episode is going to be 2 weeks after that. I kind of like to do my people so I can rest for a little bit. We're going to do a quick intro. After the intro, I'll do a mental check-in. Then I'll do a social media shout-out. With you being a business owner, if you want to shout out your social medias, you're more than welcome to. And then we get into it. Yeah, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so Andre was talking to me. He's like, everybody need to have a microphone. I said, bye, everybody, one. My cousin, he's a DJ, so you know that.
Yeah, that's her brother, right?
Big brother. All right, here we go. Little Beyonce church girl.
Give me one of these little fingers. This is a little powerful.
I ain't a powerful girl. I'm gonna have to tell you a story about that. Our electricity went out a couple weeks ago, and just went out. And so the only thing we have is like a little lamp, a battery lamp. My husband, and it was raining bad. My husband raised the windows and he put both of those fans in our window. When I say the best sleep, I said, Nia. We need to get one more of these and have some of them nights because we slept so good.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
I like this.
Anyway. Hey world. Welcome to the Spill Podcast, your favorite podcast featuring your favorite podcast host, me, your girl, Mrs. Wilson. Welcome, Spillers, to episode 3 of season 3. Listen, y'all. So I told y'all I had an amazing lineup for this season, and I know y'all be mad at me for having to wait every 2 weeks, but listen, it is worth the wait. And for the Spillers that are not caught up, make sure that you catch up. But this guest that I have today, baby, we've been talking about getting her on this episode since season 2, back in May, Mother's Day, like literally. Yeah. And here we are, September, and I finally got you on. And I'm super duper excited. I say that about every episode, but I know this episode gonna bless somebody, okay? Sure. So we have a miracle in the building. Pew, 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 pew. Welcome to the Spill Podcast. Can you pull the mic to you? You have a soft, beautiful voice, and I just want you to speak in the mic so the people can hear you. See? I'm gonna ask you about that too, because I heard that little hidden talent a few weeks ago. Yeah, we gonna get there. Anyway, so a miracle, it is her birth name. Welcome again to the Spill Podcast. I'm super duper excited to have you here, and we're gonna get this ball rolling. So every single episode of Miracle, I do a Spill mental check-in. I'm a mental health advocate. I think it's really important that we take care of our mental health, especially nowadays with the way that things going, life be life, and God still God, but I still feel like it's important that we do so. So it's my duty and my obligation to make sure I check in on my guests, because a part of me starting this podcast almost 3 years ago were for mental reasons, to make sure that I kind of help the people in the community mentally as much as I can, right? So the first thing I do is I ask my guests how they are mentally, and I like for my guests to respond with an emotional word, to just tell me how you feel, or whatever your status is, your mental status at this moment. So, a miracle. How are you?
I'm in encouraged.
How
y'all?
Girl, I had to put my wine down. You better.
I'm encouraged because I'm an overcomer.
Yes.
This year in October will be 4 years since I went through my traumatic experience.
We're gonna
get into that. But I'm encouraged to see the growth of where I've come from.
Yeah.
You know, mentally I'm really in a good place. I ain't stressed. I ain't upset about nothing. I'm really at peace. Honestly.
And you look like it.
I'm glowing.
You look, I'm talking about glowing, baby. Is that oil?
Come on now.
Because it's beautiful.
When you tap in.
Ooh, that part.
You gotta tap in.
You gotta tap in.
You gotta reach up before you can reach out.
That part.
So yeah.
I love it. Well, you look well.
Thank
you look
you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
I told you came in here, you getting skinty on me.
You're doing it.
I'm like, that won't he do it?
You're doing
Thank
it.
you, Lord. I need to do something. Help me, Jesus. Back up from the table, something. Something. Well, I'm glad all is well with you, a miracle. You look like it.
Thank
You
you.
wearing it, baby. When I say bold and beautiful, you wearing it.
I appreciate
So
it.
keep it up. All is well with me, Spillers. I'm grateful. I am at peace. Like you said, I have so much joy. Yesterday, I just had a moment to where I just, during my worship, I just thank God. And I thanked him for a long time because I thank him every single day, all day, don't get me wrong. But yesterday I was just thinking about little things. And I feel like those minute things that we kind of pass through and we really don't think about, we take for granted.
Absolutely.
Having water, being able to climb out of your bed, just little things. And I just really worship him and I thank him for that. And I'm super duper grateful. So I'm grateful right now. I have a lot of joy. I have a lot of peace. I'm excited about my future. I'm excited about what's going on in this country, the energy that Vice President Kamala Harris is kind of bringing, the hope that she's giving and bringing the people. I'm just in a great space. And I'm sitting in it and enjoying it because my pastor always says, if you're not coming out of a storm, you're not in a storm, get ready because you're probably about to go through a storm.
Absolutely.
And so I like to sit in my joys and my peace while I'm in them because I know something's going to come to where I'm going to have to, put that faith, to work. So, Spillers, I pray all is well with you. If all is not well, please say something so that we can do something. All right, a miracle. This is our social media shout out time. If you are not following the Spill Podcast on your social media platforms, what are you waiting on? Follow us on Instagram, The Spill Podcast 21, YouTube, The Spill Podcast, and TikTok, The Spill Podcast. Now, a miracle, I know you have some businesses, honey.
Yes, a few.
And I can testify to that cooking.
Come on.
So, in case the people are going to listen to this episode, but they'll probably go back and want to follow you, support you, do you want to give out your social media handles so that the people can follow, support, business information, whatever it is?
Okay, well, I'm A. Miracle Ross. I'm the CEO and founder of A Miracle Soul Kitchen. I am on Facebook as A Miracle Soul Kitchen, as well as Instagram. I haven't made it to the tick or the talk yet. Hallelujah. I also have a website, which is amiraclesoulkitchen.com. You can find me on the book. Everything you need to know. You can see all my pictures. I also in the process of relaunching my boutique, Virtuous Touch by Miracle. So that'll be relaunching soon for my plus size baddies.
Yes, and we out here.
Yes, you still can look good and modest, baby.
Yes.
I'm finna get you right. So that'll be relaunching. And I also will be launching my nonprofit soon.
And I think you gotta tell me about that.
Yeah,
okay,
related soon.
Yes.
We'll be launching soon as well. And we'll get into that a little later.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Those are my social media handles.
And make sure you all follow her. Follow her, like, support, subscribe. A Miracle, it's AMIRACLE.
Absolutely.
It's literally like
A
and miracle. A miracle. Okay?
Yeah.
So make sure you all follow her. Don't forget, Spillers, the Spill Podcast is an advanced advertisement advocate. So if you have a business you want to grow, publicize, boost your sales, email me at thespillpodcast21@gmail.com for ad prices, and your business will be featured on all podcast platforms as well as YouTube every time an episode is played and or aired. Okay? All right, did you want to add anything to that? All right, so Spillers, we are moving on. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna bring my jazz in. This is when I have my little homeboys. I don't know if you heard of them. Trap Jazz, Philly Mood, and girl, who is this calling my phone in the middle of this podcast recording?
My
Oh,
children
let me answer this.
Children,
Okay, you can answer. I'm gonna call see what Antoine want real quick. Okay, let me see my best friend one. I'm supposed to be working the door for him tonight, and he ain't finna stress me out.
No, I hate this podcast.
Hey, Dr. Phillips, what's going on? Okay, can you just give me a couple seconds of the detail? Just elaborate quickly. Okay. No, I'll be able to say. I'll be able to say.
My children think I'm an ATM machine. Jesus.
Okay. Okay, so will it be like a little table up front where I sit and, okay, cool. All right, well, I'll be there, in time to get all that stuff from you before everybody comes. All right, see you. And you said Brandon has, right, where the Mood Swing Mondays meet? Okay, okay. All right, sorry about that. My best friend running for city director. Sorry, Spillers. Y'all know that was Antoine. And he's gonna be there tonight, so to keep it going. Okay, now we got to get into it, girl. Come on now. You get everything situated with your babies?
She can't. I gotta set up some
Okay.
plans.
Okay.
Get some money in.
I know that's right. Go on, mama. That's how mine is.
They don't stop.
It don't stop, baby.
Alright, there she go.
And if you need to stop, at any time, just say, hey, let me do this real quick.
Okay. It shouldn't bother me anymore.
Just let me know. We can always pause, stop, and pause for the calls.
Thank you, Mom. You're welcome. Okay.
Ready? All right. All right, Spillers. I hope you all enjoyed those amazing jazz tunes from my boys, Philly Mood and Quincy Q Notes Watson. I always try to bring that together like I'm not going to get tongue-tied. But anyway, them the trap jazz brothers, the Giants from Little Rock, my homeboys, my fam. All right, Spillers, it is topic time. We about to get to the meat of the podcast, baby. Let's get into it. So listen, A Miracle. I know quite a few people, and I feel like quite a few people know me, but I met you around May through my cousins. I met you in April on Facebook. Like I would, they would post your food and I, make my comments. And then I finally went to an event where you were serving food and it was scrumptious and delicious. And we talked about it we just had quick conversation. It was like madness. Like we just knew each other and we went in it. And I was like, podcast. And Kat was like, you need to have her. I was like, no, I need her to be on the podcast. But at that time we were wrapping up season 2 and I was getting ready for summer break. And I told you, girl, I need you to come on and share with the people your life. Yes. So that the people can get to know you, I'm going to ask 2 questions in one. Okay. I know you're not from Little Rock, so tell us where you're from, how did you get to Little Rock, and then give us the testimony and backstory of that beautiful name, A Miracle. Okay. And I need you in a mic, because your voice is beautiful.
Okay, so I'm originally from Mississippi.
What part of Mississippi?
A little country town called Canton, Mississippi, maybe 30 minutes away from Jackson, Mississippi. I actually ended up coming here for ministry purposes. I was married to a pastor at that time. We were kind of going through some little issues, trying to really, figure out what is it that we were supposed to be doing. We was in a lot of different churches, hearing a lot of different preaching, but it was not what we were looking for or what we felt like what we was trying to go. So we ended up started having church in our home. And we met this pastor by the name of Pastor Kevin Battle. He started coming in teaching, and he began to tell us about his spiritual father here, which is Bishop Robert Earl Smith Sr. So my ex, get that right, my ex-husband ended up coming up here for a men's conference. Okay. And they had an academy, which they still do, Christian Academy for children. And he was so impressed by what he saw as far as the children worshiping at 6 o'clock in the morning and prayer on their knees. How the children was quoting scripture, seeing the family dynamic here. It was just something that he had never seen before, especially in Mississippi, because we come out of Baptist, but we transitioned into non-denominational. So it was a big shift even in that. So he was so impacted, he came back like, look, I feel like this is what we need to be. He was talking about quitting his job, and I'm pregnant. I don't know what number that was. Maybe 6'5", whatever number it was. I'm pregnant. I'm like, look, bro, what you mean? You want to pack up and leave? Yeah. And so he's like, well, I want you to meet them. I said, well, God gonna have to tell me, because right now, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Yeah. I'm living in the gated community. We living good. He making over 6 figures a year. I wasn't trying to leave. Yeah. So we ended up coming up here. Like I said, we started having little issues, and he ministered to us. We in there just arguing. He's sitting there eating chips with his legs crossed. We going there. Yeah, just sitting there. Had his robe on. I'm pregnant. I'm going out crying, emotional. He said, y'all done? And I just looked at him like, what you mean? He said, y'all just need Christ. He said, you got Jesus, but you need Christ. The finished work.
Oh, the finished work.
The redemptive work.
The redemptive. Yeah.
And I sat there and was like,
a heart tick right there, baby.
I shut up. I sat back, pregnant, better sitting up. I was like, oh, sorry, the mic. So I'm like, okay, Lord, what you trying to say? So my ex-husband looking at me like we both got quiet, couldn't say anything. He convicted. Very convicted at that time. So he's like, well, y'all just come on here and eat, y'all will be all right. That's how he says it. Now, we done argued about an hour, sitting on this man's couch, real loud. Arguing. We just eating chips, drinking this little lemonade, just letting us go ahead and say, y'all need Christ. Then he said, come on, let's have dinner. Ate, laid it out, talked a little more. And when we got on the highway, I felt like this leaping.
In your belly.
In my belly. You pregnant, that ain't the same. And he had the same feeling when I did. And I said, I believe God wants us here. And he said, girl, I pray that God will both give us a sign at the same time.
That leap.
And that leap, at the same time, it was at the stop sign in Dumas, at the little 4-way stop, going back to Mississippi. And I was like, yeah, God wants us here. And so we ended up going back home.
What year was this, if you don't mind?
It's 2024. I think it's like 2012,
Okay.
2010, something like that.
Okay.
And so we on our way back to Mississippi. Immediately we got back home. We just started giving away everything in our house.
Giving it away.
Yeah, like we done gave away $8,000 bedroom sets, full wraparound couches, and we had just remodeled our home, put $40,000 in it. So you know God had
His hands was definitely on that.
We done redid roof, built in a pantry, everything. The whole kitchen had been remodeled, bathrooms. Basically, the people that got the house got a brand new house. Everything. We had clothes in the garage, cemented that in, put the living room over there, made a diner, like redid the whole house. Only for us to leave and come here to be sleeping on the floor in a 2-bedroom apartment. And I think we had, was it 7 or 8 children then in a 2-bedroom apartment, sleeping on the floor, 1 bathroom. Oh, you know they had to be God.
Yeah.
So we transitioned here. Of course, we got into the ministry, cooking, all that type of stuff or whatever. So that's why we were here.
That's how you got here.
That's
So
how I
you
got
initially came here for ministry.
For ministry.
And you gave me the story about your name.
Oh yeah, a miracle. Interesting. So my mom was on drugs. She didn't even know she was pregnant with me. Didn't have a clue. She had actually OD'd. They had to bring her back twice. And my aunt tells the story all the time. She was like, "Girl, I don't see how you here. With the amount of drugs and stuff in her system, there's no way she should have been able to carry you." And when the doctors, I guess when they do whatever they do, came and told her she was pregnant, she basically was like, "What you mean? I'm pregnant."
Yeah.
Right. And so they told her that it would be a 50-50 chance if I made it. And if I did make it, I would be severely retarded. So 9 months come. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I got everything God gave to me that I'm supposed to have. So she named me a miracle, and she didn't know if it was a boy or girl. So that's why I have a boy and a girl name. So my name is a miracle Damon. Shantae.
Look, she said, I'm sticking with that. I'm sticking with it. It's gonna be your name.
She told my aunt that whether it's a girl or a boy, a miracle was gonna be their name. So it's a miracle Damon for boy, a miracle Shantae. So that's my name, a miracle Damon Shantae, which is weird, but hey.
And then it's evident now just from you explaining your name, how you got your name, and then the trajectory that God is taking you on and has taken you on. You got a purpose.
A big purpose.
A huge purpose. Listen. So you are a chef. This is before we get a little too deep. We're not gonna be surface, but we're not gonna be deep. But we're gonna get a little deep. You are a chef, and Spillers. I'm not a seafoodie. She made some pasta salad. She had the seafood one and then the regular, like it was Cajun, it was chicken, and then one was seafood. And so I had the chicken. I asked her for a scoop of chicken, and then she put the seafood stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna get this to my husband. That's all I can say. And then I had her, and I love potatoes. She did some loaded baked potatoes. Her you can cook, girl. And I am something like a cook. I'm not a chef, but I know how to cook for my family. And I was raised with my grandmothers and my mama, so we cook.
Yeah,
we cook
too.
You know, I don't know if I'll sell my food cooked, but I cook. I don't get any complaints though. Let me let y'all know this, Spillers. But listen, how did cooking come about in your life? Like, where did that come from? Has that always been a desire of yours? Is it something that you went through that allowed you, that God revealed that this is what I need you to do to escape? Tell me about the cooking. And I want to know about the food truck too, because I remember you having a food truck.
So cooking, my family is known for cooking.
From Canton, huh?
From Canton. They're known. My grandma's known for catering. My aunties, they sing. Uncles, they play instruments. Like, we're known for that. So my auntie is the cake lady. You want a bad German chocolate cake, butter rolls, any that she got you. My grandma do any kind of soul food, scratch cornbread, you name it. So my grandma, well, my first grandma, it's 2 grandmas. So my grandma Ruth, which is my mom's mom, would get up and cook when I lived with her before she passed. So she always would make biscuits from scratch, salmon croquettes. Like anything she made was from scratch. So I always saw her in the kitchen. Like she went in the backyard and grabbed a chicken, wrang his neck, put it in the hot water. You know what I'm saying? She got a garden. Like I've always been around it. Then when I moved to my dad's side of the family, that's all you see. Everybody used to be in my grandma's house cooking. All my uncles cooking. They'll go outside, kill a rabbit, whatever. They coming in there. So that's all I know. She catered for everybody. She always cooked for the churches or somebody wedding, or that's just what they do. And so I've always been around it. And so once I got up in age, I started really experimenting with like ramen noodles and stuff. That was my thing. I used to hook the ramen noodles up with the meat and sausages and little stuff, you know. And I just like cooking. So I would buy my own food and just go in there, you know, do little things. And then when I got married, it just took off. It was something that I just became so passionate about. So, you know, I really self-taught myself. But I was gifted. You know what I'm saying? Like I have
it's in your DNA.
Yeah, like I can smell certain spices, things like my palate is different. It just was in me. And so it just took over me. Like cooking and singing was my thing.
And that's what I was gonna get into. And it's crazy because we have so much in common. Like literally both sides. My daddy's side was known for the singing. My mama's side, we cook. We gonna cook, have fun. Daddy's side, we gonna cook, have fun, and sing. Every hunter either play an instrument or sing. I had an aunt that was the cake lady. My Aunt Shirley, rest in peace, baby. You want a bad corn? Call Shirley. You know, my Aunt Blanche, she was a cook. May she rest in peace. My Aunt May, the green lady. When I say everybody, and they got it from their mama, my grandmama, my papa, Bo. I remember being in the country one time, girl, seeing him skin a hog, girl, like hang him up and. Baby, the most traumatic.
Yes,
like I literally, I told my daddy, I don't want to come here no more. Like you can't tell me he ain't gonna do that to me. But I come from that, and then we sing too. And I need you to tell me about that because I heard you at Mood Swings. Right. I think Michael was trying to get you to sing backup or something. Yeah. And I was walking to the bathroom or something, and I was like, ooh. I was like, now wait a minute. Sis be cooking and singing.
I've been singing my whole life. I don't even know how I started singing, but I know when I lived with my mom's side of the family, we went to church all the time. And she was adamant about going to that choir practice.
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't even know when I started actually just even leading songs, but I know it started there in Tupelo, Mississippi from my Aunt Liz. I think the first time she heard me sing, she said, and she says this to this day, and I'm 40 years old. She said, it's something on you, Miracle. I've seen it since she was a little girl. But they used to make me lead songs, you know, the little children's choir. And people be like, oh, I'm just singing. I don't know. Right. And so then it went from me singing on the radio. They would record us and put us on the radio. Yeah, and so when I ended up leaving from there, moving down to Canton, Mississippi, like I said, my family sings. So, of course, at the church again, you don't lead this song, I'm going to whoop your butt. You know what I'm saying? So, I started singing in the choir there. I was in choir in school. And then even when I was in Tupelo, Mississippi, I was in the show choir. And, you know, we would go and perform at these competitions. And I remember the night I sung Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. Baby, I think I was in the 6th, 7th grade, standing ovation. I didn't realize.
Good body.
Yeah, like I didn't, not to, not being racist enough, but he was a white music teacher. He was like, girl, you will be on it, you got something. Yeah. So I was like, you always tell me, you're so special. There's a soul in your voice. You know what I'm saying? He tell me that all the time, and he pushed me to sing, even when I got down here. Like I said, I ain't want to because I don't really like to be before people like that. I'm like a background person. Yeah. But God always has a way.
I was just about to say that,
pushing me to the front.
And we can't get in the way of what he's doing. Yes. I'm like that in my church. I've always been a singer, but I would prefer to just sing in the background. Yes. I tell me and JP last me, girl, you drives the song. I be like, boy, I'm the baddest background thing I know. Listen, baby, I'm gonna cut a rug on the background. But it's going to be some people that's going to say, hey, I need you to sing this, or I need you to lead this.
Yep.
And as bad as I don't be wanting to, one of my mentors, Master Sergeant, that goes to my church, I sang Sunday. And she was like, you blessed me. She said, I was like, Master Sergeant, I didn't want to. I did not want to. She said, get it off of the Lord. Yeah. That's how she did. She let me get it out. And why?
Girl, the man, girl.
Oh, we gotta get into that? Okay, we about to get into it right now. Yeah, I don't even know where to start because I literally don't even have no more notes. I just got my encouragement notes. But the rest is for you to give us the story.
Okay.
And I'll just let the spillers kind of be prepared. But Miracle has an amazing story from the marriage, the children, her life. And I'm just gonna let her get into it, y'all. So I want you to tell us even some of the nuances that led you up to meeting your husband and how that transpired and all of that good stuff. So you start where you want to start, Steve.
Well, I'm starting at the beginning. Like I said, my mom didn't even know she was even pregnant with me. My mom ended up getting murdered 2 years after. Her girlfriend stabbed in the neck with a meat cleaver. She bled to death on the way to the hospital.
You really didn't even get to meet mom and have a relationship?
I didn't, even though my mom looked like my right hand to God, I didn't get a picture of my mom to the night of my graduation. And it's a picture of me sitting in her lap. I never knew what my mama looked like. Nobody ever brought pictures up about her.
From hurt? Do you think it was like from hurt? Like everybody was hurt, didn't want to talk about it?
Hearing the stories from how, it happened. My family was out to go kill this mom.
They were hurt.
Yeah, they was very devastated. And, I was told she had just graduated from nursing school. My dad actually said that they were supposed to be getting married that Saturday. So, the enemy, they just came in, they got into it, whatever the situation was.
And it was one of her good friends?
One of her friend girls killed her. Now, my mom, they said she was like 6 feet tall. They used to call her Gila Monster.
She was a big girl, big bone, big butt, solid.
Big, pretty something, they said. Yeah. So, I guess maybe the woman felt like that was the only way she could defend herself or whatever. I don't know. I just know my mama was gone. And so once my mom died, my grandma, her mom took care of us, and she was an alcoholic.
How many of y'all were?
It was 3 of us. My other brother died, so now my other brother is dead as well. I'm gonna get into that too. So when she died, my grandma got us. Now my grandma was an alcoholic. She gonna get up every morning with that coffee cup, drinking,
and it ain't coffee.
But that was her daily routine. She would get up, drink, lay out on that couch or whatever. She gonna take care of her business now. She wasn't a woman that was a church woman, none of that. It was a lot of fighting going on in the home, arguing, because I had uncles and aunties that was on drugs, doing crazy stuff. So it was I had kind of like a chaotic home situation. But one thing I can say about my grandma, she took, I don't want to cuss, but damn good care of us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, she did. I can honestly say it to the day that she died. You know what I'm saying? So once she died, I transitioned to my uncle.
And how old were you?
I was in the 3rd grade at the time.
So you about 8.
Yeah, and I knew she had passed because when I came home off the van, cars was everywhere. And the first thing I said, my grandma dead, because she was in the hospital sick. I think she had bladder cancer or something. She was sick. So I knew cars was everywhere. So I got off the van. I'm like, yeah. And I remember my uncle coming into her room because my grandma had a waterbed.
Baby, if you didn't sleep on a waterbed, you got to question your people.
Yeah. So I remember sitting in that room on that waterbed, and my uncle just don't care. He is not a loving man, nonchalant. He just who he is. He said, you can come stay with me, or you can take your ass to foster care.
Take it or leave it. What you gonna do?
No choice.
Yeah.
That's just who he is.
Yeah.
And so I looked at my brother, I asked my brother what he wanted to do. He said, I want to go to Uncle Fly. I said, so I'm going with my brother. I'm still in protect mode. That's my brother. So
are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest of all my siblings.
Okay.
Yeah. So we ended up moving to Tupelo. Got up there. It wasn't just a bad situation, but they wanted my brother. From the moment that my mama had him, they wanted him. So he was already like my son. They never treated me like their other child. You know what I'm saying? I'm there, but I never, to me, felt treated like everybody else in the household. So I kind of kept to myself a little bit. I was shut down. They put me in counseling because I couldn't. I just was not an active verbal, you know, enough to communicate what was going on. But I was suicidal. I had all type of thoughts. So I was in therapy.
At this young age.
Yes, because I seen so much. I seen aunties and my uncle getting a needle trying to infect my auntie with HIV because he had it. They fight. I'm seeing my auntie and her baby daddy knocking while she pregnant. Like I've seen a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that is traumatic.
A lot of, you know, trauma. You know, it was a lot going on. And so I always felt like I didn't belong or I wasn't accepted because I was different. I've always been different. You know what I'm saying? And so being in Tupelo, my brother was favored. He got whatever he wanted. Whatever he wanted. That was their son. I was never treated that way. I'm not saying that they didn't love me.
Right, but it was favoritism.
It was favoritism,
for sure.
Absolutely. And I've always felt
evident favoritism.
And my auntie, I think I was like 20-some years old. We was coming from a funeral, and she told me, she said, I'll never consider you as my child. I'll never forget. Yeah, she did. She said,
out of anger or just?
No, that's just how she felt. She was real.
But she considered your brother.
Yeah, she said I consider him as my son, and I had to take that and swallow it. I've never forgotten it. It affected me to the depths of my soul because I'm still being rejected. So I've always kind of dealt with that. And then I went through so much there, not being able to lock in with them. I started writing letters and making up stuff to get kicked out. So they ended up shipping me to my dad's mom. So my uncle packed up all my stuff one weekend because he had drill. Took me to my grandma's house, set all my stuff out, said, you can have the bitch.
How old were you?
I was in the 7th grade, 6th grade, something like that. Yeah, he did. I'll never forget that night.
And what was your brother?
He was still in Tupelo.
So did he feel away or?
I mean, he didn't know. He took me and didn't know.
Okay.
So it's like he here, but he's getting the love, the affection.
Yeah. So he can't relate to where he coming from. Yeah.
So I get over here to my grandma's side. Now my grandma was always been sickly. She dealt with cancer, you know, all type of things. My grandma raised her baby. She started having children at 14. She tired. Grandma tired. You know what I'm saying? So my grandma was like, graduate from school, don't get pregnant. That was her conversation. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't a real lovey-dovey type person. I went through a lot on that side of the family, a lot of verbal abuse. I wasn't accepted on that side either. I never felt.
So what was your dad?
He was in Cleveland, Ohio. Once my mom got murdered, he left. He couldn't take it. He couldn't handle it. And I get it. Yeah. And I asked my dad, I said, why did you leave me? And this was his response. He said, I had to live my life. I never forget my 30th birthday, sitting on the toilet because I was getting counseling from my spiritual father because I dealt with it. I said, why nobody never wanted me? Why have I always been pushed off? And he was like, you got to forgive your dad. You got to let it go. You need to have a conversation. So I remember calling him on my 30th birthday. I was sitting on the toilet. Called my daddy, and I just told him, I said, I don't want to hold this in my heart anymore, but I just want to know, why did you leave me? Because I went through so much. You know what I'm saying? I've had cousins trying to mess with me. I've been touched on inappropriately. I left home at 16, prostitutes, sleeping around with older guys. I have done some crazy stuff. I've had guns put to my head. I was taken out into a cornfield with a gun put to my head. Fooling with a drug dealer. 10 years older than me. I'm 17, he's 27. Crazy stuff. I packed all my clothes up, moved in with a girl, doing whatever. Being on both sides, men, women, you name it, I have done it. 16, 17, 18 years old, out there doing it. Passing it out like now, ladies. You get a piece, you want one too? Come on.
Shut up.
I'm telling the truth.
I know.
I'm telling you, but and that happens when you want to be accepted.
When you want to be accepted, you're looking for love.
Yeah, who could I hold on to? My identity, your identity comes from your father. He's the one that's supposed to cultivate who you are as a person. I didn't have that. So I was looking for, there was a void.
Yeah, a huge void. Because you didn't have it not only from your mother or your father, but you didn't have it from the maternal or the paternal side of the family.
And like I said, I'm not going to say they didn't love me, but they didn't know how to, what's the word?
Love you.
Right, well, minister, impart
into you. They didn't know. Yeah, they didn't know.
And I didn't, as a child, I didn't know how to communicate when I was feeling properly either, but I never felt like I belonged. I've always felt like I was different. I've never, and I'm 40 years old, I still deal with it.
Because as children, we don't grow up knowing that we're supposed to be loved. We don't grow up knowing how we're supposed to be loved or treated until, of course, we become of age.
Mm-hmm.
When it's natural,
Yeah.
you know, you good. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But when it's not natural or when you're going through some stuff that's not normal,
Right.
then the missing pieces you'll start looking
Absolutely.
for everywhere else.
And then that's what I did. I was fornicating, baby.
But I want to know, like, when your daddy said he had to live his life,
Mm-hmm.
the audacity for me, but like, how did he say it? Was he
said it just
remorseful
like, no.
when he said it? Or he was like, girl, well, nobody studying no kids. I'm
No,
trying
he
to.
was like, at that time, he said he had to live his own life. She gone.
But your responsibility are your children.
I asked him that too. I said, but why leave me? He kept saying I had to live my life. And I had to accept that answer because that was his truth.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And that hurted me.
Oh, absolutely.
Even
How could it
more.
not?
Like, really? I'm your firstborn child.
Yes.
Look just like my daddy.
Namesake.
Come on. Look, when I say look like this man, I look like this man. I'm his daughter 1,000%. Your first child you leave, and I sit up here and I ask him, I said, you don't really know what I went through. I said, do you know how I'm broken and how angry I've been, how I've done crazy stuff because I want to feel accepted by a man, a father. And so that, I think that will cause me to get into bad relationships.
Absolutely. Daddy issues.
Yeah, daddy, big
You
time.
don't know how to
issues.
discern what's right and what's wrong.
Exactly. So I'm getting beat on by in relationships. I'm having to fight Negroes. You know what I'm saying? Want to be controlled. Like all type of crazy stuff went on. You know what I'm saying? But that I was empty. I wanted that. I needed to be nurtured. I needed to know that I was protected, and I've never felt that. Even being married, I didn't feel protected or covered.
Oh, wow.
Because he would compromise.
Yeah.
With different people, family members, different relationships was more important than me. We were arguing about that a lot. I'm like, but I'm your wife. I come first.
Right.
It's God, me, children.
That's it.
Order.
That's
But it
it.
never went that way. So I've never had that. And so that's why even now with me being divorced, I'm like, do I want to be married again? Because it's like, am I going to ever get that covering,
Mm-hmm.
that protection, that comfort of knowing somebody got me?
Mm-hmm.
And I desire that, but I'm afraid too because I don't want to go through feeling that feeling again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so that's why I said experiencing that in childhood and then marriage and messed me up. Big time messed me up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Girl, when I say I'm just lost for words, because you've shared a lot, but this is a lot,
Oh, it's
and
a
I know
lot.
it's a lot for the
more.
spill, right? And it's a lot more.
Yeah.
So is your father still living?
He's still living.
How's the relationship now?
We still don't have one. I've reached out to my daddy several times before I moved here. I was living in Jackson before I moved originally. Then I was staying in Jackson. I had went and bought my first house, 3-bedroom house, 2-bath, laid it out. He was like, he wanted to come down and stay there. I went and decorated my whole extra bedroom for this man. I done went about TVs, comforter sets. I done laid it out. Went and picked him up from the airport. He's like, well, I want, we have land in Mississippi. It's called, but we have our own road, which is called Doctor Road. So we got acres and acres of land, horses, all that type of stuff, family land that they go down there, they kick it up under the tree. You know, you sit up on the tree, kick it on the porch.
Yeah.
So I dropped them off with what we call it, the inn is what they call it, which is a dead end road, but still. He would go out there, he was like, well, I'm gonna sit out here, kick it with, my daddy, because my granddaddy was still alive at the time, he was down there with his daddy. He was like, I'm calling people like, y'all see my daddy? Like, oh, he gone up there 16. So when they said he went up 16, I knew they were saying, he's gone with my granddaddy up in the country. So I'm like, how you gonna go all the way up here in the deep woods? And I done sat up here and got your room together. I done bought brand new plush tiles. You touch it and it bounce back up.
Yeah. Them the gold.
Come on now, I made sure that room smelled good. Like it was inviting for him.
Yeah.
And he didn't come not one day. Was here a whole week.
So just wanted you to pick him up. He
That's
just
it.
needed a ride from
That's
the airport.
it. And didn't even tell me when he left to get back on the plane. I'm pissed. Crying to my ex-husband.
So were you calling him and he wasn't answering?
Didn't care. Well, I'm down here doing it. I said, okay, but Daddy, you supposed to be spending time with me. And it just didn't happen. So, I tried that time. He came up sick with cancer. I said, well, Daddy, come live with me. I'll take care of you. No, whatever. Never would come. Even though he was living with a woman, he called her his wife, she was not his wife. They just common law. I was like, but Daddy, I'm the oldest, because he wasn't in a good situation. There was a lot of arguing, fussing, children acting crazy. My sister bipolar. She busting windows and want to kill everybody. It was a lot going on.
So he wanted to be with the insanity.
Yeah, so he was there with my other siblings, and I think it's like 5 or 6 more than
his children by
her, yeah. And so I'm sitting here like, well, Daddy, I'm here.
Yeah.
Nothing. He's still sick. I talked to my daddy probably 3-4 months ago. The last conversation we had, I actually FaceTimed him. I didn't even know his number. I had to get it from my sister. Just to see him, and he was like 90-some pounds. Sick with cancer. I don't know how he doing right now.
So the siblings that he has, how's your relationship?
I don't know him. I mean, they can come here right now. I know you more than I know them. We don't talk. No, we never grew up together. No spending time, no kicking it like sister, we gonna meet here. Brother, no. It's never been like that. I can't tell you nothing about them.
Ooh.
And I only know one on birthday because it's Christmas.
Oh, wow.
I can't tell you, baby, because it's just never been that way. I barely know their real names.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't have that.
So your siblings that you share with your mother, what's the status of y'all's relationship?
They're deceased.
Both
Brothers are dead. Now, my other brother, he died a little bit after birth, the one that was after me.
Okay.
And then my other brother died, I think it was like 2 years ago.
The favorite.
Yes, he died 2-3 years ago he had a motorcycle accident.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he had broke his pelvic bone and some femur or something, whatever. So they ended up going into surgery. And at that time, me and my brother weren't even talking. We had got into it about Donald Trump.
Oh, Lord.
And about my church. He was going off, you Donald Trump lover. I said, I'm not a Donald Trump lover. Like, he was just going off about stuff. And you in a cult, and you this, and you believe like this. I'm trying to, because at that time, my brother has always been in the streets, wild, drug dealer, like, he'll fight the police, but my brother don't go. So I call him, he gonna
ready.
Yes, that's all he
Yeah, protector.
Yeah, he ain't scared of nothing.
Yeah.
Like, my brother with it. And so I was telling him then, because I was having dreams of my brother dying. I promise to God, I was having a dream, and I remember calling him. I said, DeAndre, you gotta get out in the streets, boy. He's like, look, sis, we all gonna die.
Uh-oh.
You know that mentality. You know what I'm saying? I said, bro, I keep having this dream, and you know me, when I get the dream about something, it's on me. I had a dream for a whole year. Then I get the phone call that he had the motorcycle accident, and I told my auntie, and she'll tell you. On the phone, I said, she's like, we praying and we gonna believe. I said, you can pray all you want to. My brother is not gonna make it.
Oh, wow.
I told her because I know what God showed me.
Yeah.
Shut down. But I know what God showed me because he had dreams. He never made it.
Yeah.
So he went into she said, well, I don't receive it. I ain't gonna believe it. I said, you don't have to. But I know when God tells me something, because I know the prophetic gift that I have. If I tell you something, you can bank on it. For sure. And so I was at peace because I knew. I didn't cry. I ain't feel no type of way because God had been telling me. And I was telling my ex-husband, every time I would wake up and have a dream, I said, why I keep dreaming about my brother? I said, something ain't right. For a year, any type of accident you could think of, I'm dreaming about my brother. And he never came up out of it. He went into surgery. He came out. I think they moved him in the bed, tried to, reposition him. And he had a massive heart attack through a blood clot, and he was gone.
Oh, wow.
And I remember before he went into that surgery, my auntie called because he couldn't talk because they had the with tools and stuff in him. And I told him, I love you. I asked him to forgive me. You know what I'm saying? Because we hadn't been talking. And so I was like, I love you. But I knew the fate because God had already told me. And I remember just like with my Uncle Bryce, he started coming back around. And usually when people finna transition or something about to happen, those people come around. And I remember my Uncle Bryce just started popping up in my jaw. I was working at pizza. He said, what you doing, Nudie? That's my nickname, Nudie. And he was just popping up, wanting to see me all the time. He actually lived like 2-3 blocks away from me when I was staying in Jackson. And I remember having this dream that it wasn't him though. In the dream, it was the pastor's son got shot in the chest and he fell in the ditch. And I kept having that dream. I said, why am I having these dreams like this. And I remember calling my first lady, telling her, I said, I had this dream. She said, well, I don't think that's my son. She said, because God would have told me. She said, I'm going to pray about it. And she said, I want you to pray too. For like maybe 2-3 weeks, we were praying. People would come, they came to my house, was praying, different women of God, because it just wouldn't stop. And I remember was getting out of church on a Sunday. I get the phone call from my auntie, said they found your Uncle Bryce dead in the ditch. He had been shot. And his God daddy was the one that killed him. But I had been having that dream. And I knew somebody was finna die, just, you know what I'm saying? God didn't show me the exact face. But with my brother, it was clear. I knew it. I couldn't shake it. I said, it's gonna happen. And God was giving me peace. But I was warning my brother prior to that. My brother could play instruments. The boy can sing. He could cut hair. Smart. Do you hear me? This boy was taking college courses in high school.
Just chose the street life.
Chose the street life. And I used to tell him that.
And you think about the trauma too, because just like you were experiencing that trauma, he probably was dealing with trauma too, not ever meeting his mama.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And he
Daddy leaving him. And yeah, we love
we didn't
Auntie
have the
Uncle.
same dad. He didn't know who his dad was.
See, and that's almost even worse.
Yeah, and
you know,
so he did deal with that. And I
Yeah.
remember us talking about that one time because the guy that they were saying supposedly his dad, I was like, take the DNA test, because honestly, he looked like the dude, tall like him, mold. Like, I'm like, it's a possibility, but he never took the test. And so the reason why I was on my brother so hard about getting out the streets, because when I was in the streets, I was having dreams of my own funeral.
I remember you telling me
Yeah,
that.
I was having dreams of my own funeral. I seen the casket was blue. I had a roller wrap. They had put me away nice. I'm talking about my grandma was screaming. I'm seeing it in the church. She on the front row screaming, hooping and hollering. My auntie, I'm seeing this. In the church, having dreams like this. And I remember one day, that's when I was messing with the drug dealer, my auntie came to my job. She said, Miracle, if you don't get out these streets, we're going to bury you next. And didn't know the same day that she came up there, the drug dealer I was going with, his girlfriend came up there to shoot me. And the only reason why that girl didn't shoot me, my manager, and I thank God for him to this day, McKinley, I was handing a pizza out the drive-through window. McKinley ran up, grabbed her, and pushed out the door. And I turned around, I didn't know what was going on. And I was pregnant at that time with my first son. Didn't even know. I was supposed to be dead that day. But my grandma would be up praying for me. My auntie was sick with cancer on her deathbed.
Praying for you.
Crying out to God to save me. And I remember she came up there, and I ain't been to church in I don't know how long. I was out there home. I wasn't stunned by no God. She came to my job and she was like, Miracle, we got a revival coming up. I want you to come. I was like, I don't know, church. I ain't been to church. But I remember I said, all right. She kept begging me, I said, all right, I'm going to go. So I got paid on a Tuesday. I went and got me a little bad little two-piece pantsuit from Kato's.
Okay, Kato.
When they got my hair, come on now, when they got my hair done, I said, okay, I'm going to go. And I remember going. And at that time, I was like, man, I don't feel right sitting in this church. They speaking in tongues, and I'm saying,
and you know, like,
yes, I'm
out here right now.
Girl, I go in the church, sit on that pew. I'm just looking like, oh, I'm ready to go. Get this, oh, you know, the Pentecostal laying hands, speaking in tongues, rolling on the floor. You ain't coming up out of that quick.
That part.
So I'm sitting there, and this woman, I never forget this woman. Daisy Smith Patrick called me up. She said, come here, baby. I did this.
Girl, who was you talking
to? She said, come here, baby. I was like, God, my auntie, come on, girl. They was like, come on up here. Went up there. The woman had a red and white preaching robe on. She said, the devil want to kill you. He want to sift you as wheat. Never forgot what she said. That woman prophesied to me about the reason why my mama died. She prophesied about the dude I was messing with. She even prophesied about the night the nigga put the gun to my head, the woman prophesied and telling me what happened. She telling me the call of God is on my life, telling me that if I don't get out the streets, they gonna bury me.
What your aunt?
Yes. She said, baby, you called to preach. She said, I see a lot of older women following you. Now I'm but 18, 17, 19, I was probably 19 and 18, something like that at that time. 17, whatever it was. I was young still. And she told me, she said, it's going to be a lot of older women going to follow you. She said, I see you preaching in big churches. Like this woman telling me, I ain't never forgot what the woman said. That woman unzipped that red and white preaching robe, put it on me, I lost it. Rolling on the floor. Bucket. Go! Because didn't nobody know until after that night. that I was having dreams of me preaching. And it was a exact red and white robe that woman had on. That's why I lost it. Nobody knew I haven't had that dream for weeks. And I had long, pretty hair. I've always desired long hair. And I'm preaching. And I'm in this big church, and I remember waving my hand, and people was falling out. I didn't tell nobody about that dream until after that night. I said, y'all don't even understand it. She said, baby, you're going to preach, you're going to minister. She said, a lot of people ain't going to like you because of the anointing that's on your life. Yeah, she telling me this. And it's always been nobody like me now, and I don't be doing that. I know. But it ain't me, it's the anointing. Yeah. And I can't help that. But that woman told me that. She said, baby, you're going to preach, you're going to teach, you're going to prophesy. And I was like, man, everything my auntie had been telling me, that's on me. I was like, I don't want to do this.
And that's not the only person that tell you.
No,
so
it's a lot
at
of
some
people.
point you gotta be like, okay, God.
Yeah.
So where are you in ministry now, if you don't mind me asking?
Okay, girl, I'm shifting
and
back.
Then, and then we go, because we gotta get to the husband part so we can wrap it up.
Okay, so I went through a lot of church hurt.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get myself back into that. And I know God been dealing with me. I've had probably the last year people that I don't even know walk up to me. I went to Wingstop, buying some chicken wings now. Good little 10-piece with the fries. This young boy sitting at the table kept staring at me. I'm like, why this boy looking at me? He said, you a minister? I said, Lord, I just can't get away. He said, you look like it. This boy could have been no more than 19, 20 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I ain't even have on no churchy dress either now. Yeah. And it's just like, even at my job, the guy was like, Miracle, why you playing? I said, what you talking about? This came up to me one day, why you playing? He said, God said it's time for you to go forward. You've been running too long. And I was just like, ugh, I can't get away from this. Everywhere. It was like for months, just everybody coming in. You need to be singing. You need to be doing this. It's time for you to share your testimony. Patrice, at my job, she would set me down. We did a whole little plan. You gonna do this. You finna start speaking. You finna start.
So are you working it?
Yeah, I've started. I've gotten my business cards for Miracle Speaks.
Good.
Where I be going out, sharing my testimony.
Yes.
And then I developed the nonprofit.
Yes, tell us about that real quick.
So the three-legged stool deals with the home, the school, and the church, where we're coming in to help assist the parent.
Yeah.
Also, we'll be dealing with traumatic experiences, and I'm doing that in honor of my daughter who was raped. So we'll have micro schools. We're going to develop a micro school, a Christian micro school.
I know somebody that, well, it's not, she just has a micro study school, but keep going.
So we're developing that. We're going to be developing an after-school program, a culinary program. We're going to do things within the arts, therapeutic arts for people. I'm going to offer classes for mothers. We're going to teach what the 5 things a home should be, the structure of a home. We're going to talk about the silly woman, the foolish woman, the wise woman.
Come on.
Women don't know
that part.
But I done been through it, so I feel like I'm a
and you have been, you're definitely equipped for everything you just said.
Especially being a mother of 13, so yeah. So and then not only that, we're gonna have virtuous touch, being healed from the inside out. It's gonna be an entity under the three-legged stool, which is just for young girls. We'll mentor them. We'll have counseling services, all that type of stuff going on to help those girls that don't have that mentorship or a safe haven. For to come tell what has went on with them. So
and that's the thing I think a lot of our young girls struggle with nowadays. I'm an interventionist. I'm a reading interventionist by trade. But working with kids, I've learned that a lot of them don't have a safe haven.
They don't.
Girl, I'm 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I done had children bring stuff to me. As a mandated reporter, I do have to report certain things. But look, I'm gonna touch and pray. You know what I'm saying? So I'm reporting it because I'm mandated to do so. But I'm also gonna pray, and I'm gonna be there for you the best way that I can. But they don't have a safe haven.
They don't.
Like they don't trust nobody, and it's like scary. You know what I'm saying?
I don't have it.
And a lot of people don't. And I wasn't unfortunate to not have it. I was blessed to have it, and I thank God for it. But I still became a young woman, experienced some things, had to learn some things on my own, had to go to therapy. And a lot of things that I've experienced, not from the way I was raised or anything like that, is because of my life choices. I try to be there and support my daughter the best way that I can. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about that a few weeks ago. She's 17, but she was like, Mama, you've had moments to where you've cried and you wanted to vent and let stuff out and blah, blah, blah. She's like, stop always telling me go pray or talk to God, blah, blah, blah. At the moment, let me experience what I'm experiencing. I'm going to talk to the Lord. He knows my heart. But I'm like, but I don't want you to forget that. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to be holier than thou. But I want you to experience those feelings so that you can know how it feels and you can know how to deal with it and you can have the right tools to handle it. But I still, at the end of the day, want you to know, you know what I'm saying, like, where your help comes from, period.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to wrap this thing up. But before we wrap it up, I need a few minutes of this husband and this story and the children and end it with telling us where you are now, because I feel like even everything that you've said from now, from earlier up until now, I already know some people gonna be messaging and gonna be like, oh my God. And you're going to get some people that's gonna be reaching out so that you can come speak at some women's events and all of that good stuff. So get ready for it. But tell us just about what changed your heart for ministry, because you said you had church hurt. And I know some of that comes too from the experiences with your husband who was a pastor and all of that. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so the church hurt started really when I was young. And then before we moved here, the church we came from, my husband has has always been favored in church. So it was always Pastor Ross, but forget Sister Ross. So I went through a lot of that, and even when we moved here, they treated me differently in ministry. So the night that I got that phone call of him raping my daughter, I was actually at work.
Okay, so how many kids do y'all have?
We have 13 children.
Okay. And so, all of them are biologically his?
No, I'm gonna break it down. So technically, I've given birth to 16 children.
Okay.
He had 2, I had 2, everybody else.
Okay. It was together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that's not true. 16. Yeah, but I've given birth to
16. You love the babies, baby.
Yeah, I don't know why I was fertile.
I'm talking about fertile.
Fertile.
You were fertile like our grandmama and was.
Yeah.
Because people our age don't have kids.
I got pregnant on every birth control.
Oh no.
They was just me.
Oh yeah, them eggs, baby.
Fertile. I don't want no more. Yeah, so we have 13 children. And I was working at a nursing home. He had a stroke like 4 or 5 months before this happened. So I'm working 16-hour shifts, paying all the bills, trying to take care of everybody, just running myself raggedy. Plus we had a food truck. So we had been doing events like for the Christian Basketball Association, Tyson. We was everywhere, selling plates, doing pulling up the games. Like our name was really getting out there. It was called Rotisserie Eatery.
Like rotisserie.
Yeah, Rotisserie.
I love it.
So it was Rotisserie Eatery. We had a big food truck. We had converted a bread truck into a food truck. So we was doing it, but that stopped because he had a stroke. So he was paralyzed, partially paralyzed on the right side. So at that time, like I said, everything was on me. I'm running him back and forth to therapy, trying to work at the nursing home, whatever. So that night, I get a text from my stepdaughter saying, I need you to come home now.
And this is his daughter?
Yes, the one I raised, yeah. So I said, what's going on? I said, is he sick? Because he was still having issues with his blood pressure. And she said, I need you to come home down. So I'm calling, house phone. Everybody got a phone. Nobody answering. So I'm like, what is going on? So then she texts me again, come home now. I need you to come home now. Still, I'm texting, what's going on? I'm working at the nursing home as a CNA. I can't abandon my shift.
Right.
You know that.
Right.
So finally, my daughter, she was 12 at the time.
And this is...
She was 12.
Is this you and his daughter?
Yes, Ziggy. Ezra, we call her Ziggy.
So Ezra is pretty.
Yeah, thank you. It means the Lord's help.
Come on.
All of them got biblical names. So she answered the phone. Mom! Screaming. Daddy, Khalil said Daddy raped her. I said, what? She kept saying, Daddy raped Khalil. Mom was just hysterical.
Now, is Khalil his biological?
No, he raised her as his biological. This is his stepchild.
And that's your baby?
Yes,
your biological?
yes.
Okay.
And she started screaming. I said, Ziggy, what are you saying? I'm like, what are you saying?
Right.
Daddy raped Khalil, just screaming. I said, I'm finna kill this bastard. I lost it.
Yeah.
Because I said, I know this man ain't touched my... I'm talking, at that time, I wasn't spiritual no more.
Yeah.
I went straight
You
in.
human, yeah.
Yeah, I lost it. So my nurse manager and all, they was in the building hearing me screaming, like, what did you say? And I'm like, he did what? Like, I'm going off.
Yeah.
I'm like, this man done raped my child.
Yeah.
I said, Ziggy, are you sure? So I'm texting my stepdaughter, still ain't responding. I said, something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I run out the emergency exit door.
Mm.
Gone. The other aides, everybody trying to get me like, Miracle don't drive like this. I said, I'm gone. Baby, I had that Honda Accord on 2 wheels. Gone. I don't even know how I got home that fast. I pull up in the yard. This Negro got my daughter, my biological daughter, and my stepdaughter on the front porch, both of them crying. I get out the car, he come running. I said, Trail, what did you do? I said, Trail, what did you do? He immediately grabs me, both arms, like this. He girl, I'm finna go in. You hear me? He knew.
Yeah.
He's Miracle, just calm down, just calm down. I'm talking grip me tight, took my keys, like Trail knew what was finna happen. He knew. So he pulling me up the stairs, he done set me down in the chair. Now I got this big, God bless you, thick piece of wood right here. God bless you. I'm studying, looking at it like, okay, I'm on the edge of the chair. I said, Trey, what did you do? He still grabbing my arms, he got on his knees. I said, Trey, what did you do? I'm asking Khalil, what happened? Ramona, what's going on? They wasn't saying nothing, just boo-hooing, crying. I'm talking about hysterically crying. I said, Trey, what did you do? He looked me in my eyes. He said, Miracle, I messed up. Next, I don't even know how I got loose. Baby, I grabbed that God bless you sign.
And put a lesson on.
Baby, we fought from my porch to my basketball court. I done told my scrubs. I had a quick weave. Weave that came out my hair, shoes over here. But when I say we were fighting, knocking. I done picked up a brick, busted his head. Like, it was bad. Yeah. Somebody ended up calling my spiritual father and my spiritual uncle. They ended up coming over there, getting him, grabbing me. I looked him in the face, I said, I'm gonna kill you. I'm heading in the house to get my gun. They done jumped on me, so I couldn't even I was gonna blow his head off. Told him, looked him in the face. I said, I'm going to kill you. I said, I don't want to say the P word. I said, if you wanted some P, I would have gave it to you. I said, you gonna rape my child?
Yeah, you took it.
Like, why would you do that? Miracle, it wasn't me. I messed up. That's how he kept saying, I messed up. I love you. Just all this. My life is over. Just screaming, crying, whatever.
It is.
So, like I said, they threw me on the concrete because I'm adamant trying to get in this house to get to this gun. If I would have got to that gun, I'd probably be in jail right now because I wasn't going to stop shooting. My mom was like, you finna die. You violated my child. One thing that you know that happened to me being violated that I shared with you. Why would you do this to my child?
Right.
Come on now. And so they get them or whatever. They take them away. My spiritual father gets him, put him in the car. My spiritual uncle gets me trying to talk to us. We're really trying to calm me down. So my daughter took my other daughter, the one that got raped, to the bathroom because she said she was hurt. Girl. It went up her butt. Blood. Yes. Blood and stuff was all down there. She was in pain. So I got in the car and just took her to the, I ain't called an ambulance. I just went straight to the hospital. So, you know, when you get there, you tell her what's going on. They get immediately into social workers, police, everybody there. And I didn't know they had this special room for stuff. Like, I didn't know that.
Yes,
so they take us in the room. Cameras coming down. You know, TVs. I'm like, when I say they swabbed every inch of my daughter, I couldn't take it. I had to walk out. I couldn't handle it because I'm like, we really in this. It's really happening. I'm hysterically crying. My spiritual father and them calling. My spiritual uncle. We gonna get through this miracle. We pray. I ain't trying to. I want that nigga dead. That's what my mind was. I love God. I understand that, but my mind was in straight revenge mode. Like, I'm gonna get you. You hurt my daughter like this. You know what I'm saying? And so social workers coming in there. She having to tell what happened. I couldn't take it. I left up out the room again. I couldn't hear it. I couldn't. So then, because she told me that she was feeling suicidal, that she wanted to kill herself, I had no rights. There's nothing I could say. So they made me leave. They put this little suit, you know, the thing they put on you.
The little Velcro thing. And I know this because as an educator, you go through certain professional developments that you can choose, and these are some of the ones that I've chosen before. Yeah, so they put that on, and it was like, when it's wrong, we're going to get her transported to the facility. You cannot have her. And so she ended up going to Methodist. She was down there for maybe 2-3 months. She gets out. She's triggered. She started cutting herself.
armed. She tried to kill herself again. You name it. Tried to take pills. We in therapy. Therapy not working. Going into another facility.
Yeah, that's traumatic.
Yeah,
that's something that can take a lifetime.
Yeah,
really.
then being in the house.
Yes.
Triggered her.
Yes.
I didn't even sleep in my room.
Yeah.
It happened in my bedroom. I couldn't sleep in my room for probably 2 years. And half the time I still don't sleep in there. I done painted it, bought a new bed, everything. That room I can't be in that room too long.
So how is she now? How old is she?
She's 19 now.
Okay.
She's still struggling.
Okay.
She recently ended up moving out. She said, "Ma, I just can't be here no more." And I get it.
Yeah.
I totally understand that house is a trigger. And she was like, and then when I knew she started being up all night again, pacing and walking, can't sleep. And I was like, yeah, this is too much.
Yeah.
So, and then the process of dealing with the prosecutors, that was horrible.
Because they make you relive it.
Yes.
Like you gotta keep answering the questions.
And then not only that, they put you on the investigation.
Like you did something.
Exactly. They all at my job. Popping up police officers. We need your story again. I said, ma'am, I was at work. Go ask these people. I don't know.
Yes.
And I told the woman. I said, if I knew that nigga was touching my child, y'all would have me locked up right now. And I said, record that. Make sure you put that on record.
Yeah.
Because ain't no way in the hell I'm going to sit up here as a mother and let somebody hurt my child when I done been through crazy experiences.
Yeah.
No way. It was just so bad. And, you know, they ended up coming to us talking about they want to do a plea deal. But it was, of course, they had to talk to my daughter, you know, see how she felt about it. I was like, it's on you. Whatever y'all want to do, because this happened to you. I can't tell you what you feel like.
Right.
To me, I feel like he should be there for the rest of his life. But she was like, I'm thinking about my brothers and sisters. They still need their daddy. I get all this. She still had a heart, still wanted to forgive him. So they ended up doing a plea deal where he got 30 years in prison.
So he's incarcerated
He's
now?
still incarcerated right now. But he can parole out in 8 years.
Well, he'll have that tag attached to his name. So parole out or not, he has a tag.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm better. When it first happened, I was angry at everybody because people. This is the crazy part. Now this is what I didn't understand. He committed the act, but I got the persecution by the church. The church said I should have been at home. Yes.
You the first lady.
They said it was my fault because I wasn't at home. I should have been working. I wasn't making sure my husband was satisfied. I said, that's a lie. I would give it to my husband when I didn't even want to. Baby, hurry up, go and do what you gonna do. Because it wasn't gonna take long. Come on, wrap this on up. So you don't even know what was going on. I ain't withhold from him.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that. But it was all this. It's your fault. What you had her wearing, was she permit? My daughter was still playing with Barbie dolls at 15.
Yeah.
And come on now.
And that's what people will do, especially church people, when we hear something or when they hear something about somebody that they care for, they have on this platform. It's like, let me persecute them or let me blame them to, avoid having to really confront who the real perpetrator is.
And then what was so crazy, I went through hell. I had to take parenting class. I had to fight for my own freedom.
Because it's almost like they act like you're at fault.
Yeah, that's what they did.
But if I don't work, how my baby don't eat?
Exactly. I'm telling them everything fell on me. This man had to stroke. What do you expect me to do? I still had to honor my vows. He still was my husband. I still had to take care of him and my children. But they didn't see that. So it was my fault because I went at home. I left him there. He's their daddy. He been there. So it was just a whole lot. Like, I went through so much where I felt suicidal at times. I wanted to give up. I was depressed. Wasn't eating, angry, wanted to fight everybody. I was going to go to the church and whoop a couple of them. People was calling DHS lying. Crazy stuff was going on.
Now the blasphemy.
Yeah.
And again, that's to take the attention off the real perpetrator. But what did you do to heal from all of that? Like, I know you were angry and
I had
you were resentful. So
I had women at my job, they would come to me and say, Miracle, let's go in the bathroom and pray. God raised up people for me. To my friends who called me, you okay? 2, 3 o'clock in the morning on my mind, I can't sleep, Miracle. God put people around me outside of the church. that was there undergirding me and praying me
Yeah.
through, talking me through, checking on me, because they knew it was tough. I couldn't even hardly work some days. I'm crying.
Yeah.
Because I'm missing my child. She
Yeah.
gone. I can't get to her. I can
Yeah.
only talk to her certain days.
Yeah.
My other children going through, because now they saying we don't have a daddy. My baby was all in daycare saying, I ain't got no daddy. They calling me. I had to deal with that. Then I'm left with 13
By
children
yourself.
by myself
Yeah.
that I got to figure out now how I'm going to take care of them. So you know me, I've been on my own since I was 16. I don't give up. I'm going to go hustle.
Yeah.
So that's where Miracle Soul Kitchen came from.
Mm.
I got back in. I got the facility in place, got the hustling, catering, CNA, whatever I had to do, esthetician.
Yeah.
I'm scrubbing faces, waxing. You know, I was doing it to make sure my children were straight. And I still be hustling. I ain't gonna give up. I may cry, I may hurt, but when they come to them 13, they gonna always be straight.
Yeah.
Always. And then I'm living in an 8-bedroom, 4-bathroom house. I got bills.
Oh, big bills. Big
Big light bills.
And big mouths to feed.
Come on.
Because we're not talking about 1, 2
And
children.
I ain't getting no child support.
See?
And when he left, he didn't help. He didn't
Yeah.
provide for us financially like he should have. He was still living his life. He felt like he wasn't even going to prison. He really thought he wasn't going. Yeah, and then in the end, with the church people and everybody who was saying that he didn't do it, that my daughter, what's the word, not provoked him, but seduced him, that's what they were saying. But when them DNA results came back, okay, who am I?
And the judge don't play.
Come on.
So, we got to wrap this thing up. I just hate that I only got so many minutes.
I know, I don't
Because I
think
can take this. We probably going to have to do a part two later.
Yeah.
But what, just quickly, what advice would you give to the single mother, the mother that has the traumatic experience, the mother that children has faced the traumatic experience, but you still got to be a mama. You still got to be the support and the everything that they need. You know, whether it's the shoulder to cry on, the bank. You gotta be that mama. Baby, we know all about that because now these days that's all these children think we are. But that's neither here nor there. What advice would you give to the mama that's literally at a place where she's just like, I don't know?
The first thing I would say is cry out and spare not.
Spare not.
Baby, I used to sit on the toilet and cry out to God on the floor. I said, God, you gotta help me. And sometimes I didn't even have a lot of words. Sometimes I couldn't call people. Even though I know they would answer, but in that time, it was just me and him. Because only he could help my thoughts, my hearts, my feelings, my emotions. I had to really cry out to God, then I had to get therapy. I had to talk to a neutral person who didn't know me but could evaluate the situation and give me help. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. And at the end of the day, I had to make time for me.
Self-care.
I had to.
First, yeah.
Right. So I started taking myself out. Or I go walking. Or I go sit in a restaurant just for me because it was so much on my plate. And I had to pray, Lord, give me the grace to do this. Because a lot of women would have folded. A lot of women would have been gave up.
Talking about a paper towel, balled up, folded.
Come on now. Not having a husband, not having a father, not having, okay, well, your daddy gonna do it now. I'm finna go do this. And then I don't have any family here.
Right.
No brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles.
Everybody's in Mississippi.
Mississippi. So it was on me. So I'm ripping and running, going here, taking care of this. Okay, I gotta make groceries. This child needs this, that child needs that. But God will raise up people to be a blessing. Brooke, I was just thinking about you. We just went in the store and bought your children coats for the winter. Or people was bringing food to the house. God just started raising people. One day I'm leaving from church, woman stopped me and said, baby, here go a $500 check. God told me to bless you. It was times my bills, I had an $800 gas bill. And I got a big house. I'm like, Lord, I can't pay this. Ended up, the bill came. I'm thinking it's a disconnect notice. Somebody had already paid the bill. Come on now.
Yeah, that's
God was working miracles, and I remember when my spiritual uncle said, he said, a miracle. You got to start acting what your name is. You got to believe that. You are a walking manifestation of the power of God. Something got to always happen for you. So in that season, God showed me what a miracle really was. And not only that, I didn't even share this part. They thought I had cancer when all this was going on. Yes. They thought I had cancer. I just went 2 weeks ago just to have 2 biopsies in the same week. For my breast and my cervix. They cut a piece of my cervix off thinking I got cancer again.
Ain't nothing there.
Nothing.
A walking miracle.
Come on. But I know how to pray now.
That part.
So it's always been stuff going on.
Yeah. But God is
He always blocking.
And that's what I say. I posted a video earlier on Facebook. Quit worried about the naysayers.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, God will silence them.
Absolutely.
They're going to do what they do, but I promise you they'll be silent.
God.
That part, and I said that too. I said, think on things that appear. Do what you're supposed to do for you. And once you do that, baby, they got to be quiet.
Oh, yeah. And
I mean, even if the doctor say you got something and God going to tell you don't.
And I never believed it. Every time they would say, well, we think this. I'm like, whatever.
Baby, thinking and knowing that part.
I couldn't accept it. When you accept it,
that's when it happens.
And I said, I can't accept it.
Yes.
If he's delivered me, the enemy tried to kill me before I even came out the womb.
And you made it.
Come on. I got to believe
So
God.
now you think you finna tell me something happening.
That's why I don't go. People think I'm crazy because of how I talk.
Nah, that's your
my
faith.
I just know where my faith is.
Yeah.
Now, I done seen them do too much.
Yeah. I was just about to say, you done seen them do. You're a witness.
Come on, I done seen my daughter stop breathing at 4 months old.
See?
My daughter was supposed to be here, Ziggy. Stop breathing, had RSV. Do you know how long my baby was without oxygen? Ain't nothing wrong with her. Praise dancer. Intercessor. At 16. My son. I delivered 2 of my children on the floor. Almost bled to death with one of them. I had to have 2 bags of blood. 8-hour transfusion. I done seen God do too much, baby. Guns put to my head. Abusive relationship. I done been beat on. Drug. The nigga used to unhook stuff on my car because he didn't want me to go nowhere. I done seen God standing at the door. I'm coming from church. He done hit me in the head. And I'm holding my baby in the car seat. I almost fell on a glass table. I could have been gone in. Crazy stuff. But God.
A miracle.
Come on now. Thank you, Lord. Oh, baby, I can tell you some stuff. I done been through it.
We gonna bring you back.
Absolutely.
We have to bring you back. And you gonna sing.
I could do a little something.
Yeah. You wanna close us out and give us something?
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. I'm gonna cry. God, what's so good. Thank you, Lord. I just want to thank you, Lord. I ain't gonna go in because I'm still trying to come on in. Woo!
Still is a miracle.
Too good. It's been too good.
A miracle.
Thank
you.
Come on.
That was beautiful.
It's a lot more I didn't say, but it's a lot.
We're gonna do part 2.
It's a whole lot.
If I didn't have to shut this off, I would have had to start over anyway because it won't go past 119, I think, and we at 116.
Oh, okay.
Because of the program that I have and that I pay for. Let me stop this so people won't